Today I want to tell you about my short-term goals for my garden.
Yes! Please subscribe!
Now, as you can see, I've got three types of goals. Short-term goals, which is 2 years, medium-term goals, who are up to 5 years, and long-term goals, which are greater than 5 years. But for today, I'm going to be talking about my short 2-year goals. Now, as you can see from a slide over here that I gave you a few months ago, this was a 2D plan of what I intended to do with my garden, and I'm sort of sticking to that sort of format. So if you have a look at this now 3D representation, you can still see it's divided up into the entertainment area, the food forest, and the vegetable area. Now, my short-term goals are primarily concerned with the vegetable area, but I will also be planting in the food forest. And this is where we are at the moment. I've got a little greenhouse over here that is going to be removed, and I've already built the pond and the water feature that I put over here. So what else am I going to be doing to the garden? Well, as you can see, this is my vegetable area, and I've removed the greenhouse like I said I would. And at the back of it, at the top line here, these are my neighbors across the road. Because what I do will also affect them, so I've got to take them all into consideration. Now, if you look over here, I'm going to be building a new structure, a new greenhouse. Now, this structure will cover about 33 square meters, and it'll fit exactly in. Now, as you can see, the back end is lower than the front end, and I've done this deliberately. Now, if I go on to the next slide, this is where I've got the covering. Now, I'm going to be putting a covering over the top of the greenhouse. So that'll be my new greenhouse. And inside it, I'm going to be putting these 2 long beds over here. But now, when I construct these new raised beds over here, I have to be very careful. Because if you have a look at the top, these are the 2 raised beds over here. I want to get the maximum distance out of it. But I've also got 3 bins that I have to worry about. So if you can have a look at this green strip over here, that I'm worried about, because with a green strip, I have to be able to maneuver the bins around, but I want to get as much room as I can. So what I've done is I've built doors at the back. Now, so that I can just take the bin straight out for the bin man to collect, and when he's finished, I can just put it straight in. And that'll give me quite a bit of space saving. Now, on the next slide here, you can see where north is, and that is how my greenhouse is going to fit really snugly into my garden, and it'll be perfectly legal, as some people have got garages a little bit bigger than this. So what else am I going to be doing in my garden? Well, I'm going to be planting trees. So now what I've done is I've taken the maximum sort of height of the tree and the breadth of the tree, or the diameter of the tree that it'll grow when it's its full height. And I've put these markers down, and I said, okay, that's how much room I need for my trees in a mature state. So I've also then left this little area over here that you can see vacant, because the sun, as you can see where north is, the sun will come over, and I don't want these trees casting a lot of shade on the greenhouse. So I've left this area open, and I'm going to be putting bushes and all sorts in there, but it's primarily so that the sun can get into the greenhouse. Now, this is when I've put now the trees in. It'll look something like that, and it's quite interesting because my total budget for this job will be about, the greenhouse is going to cost me about £600, and that's if I do everything myself, and I skimp where I can and stuff like this. And the trees will cost me about another £120, and that's including the compost and everything that I need to put around the trees. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of my short-term plans, and next week I'll tell you about my medium term.